I'll know that name in a couple of weeks. There's stories for Dane Robert when he's a little older. He'll understand them. These are stories for Ashira and Corbin, and Cynthia and Ashira, and for Justine and their new brother or sister a little later. These are stories for Wade and Brendan, for Miles and Trayton, for Jocelyn, and I can't guess who their little brother or sister might be yet. These are stories for all of the wonderful children of my and Karen's friends, wherever they are and whoever they might be. These are Uncle Remus stories. The first story is The Tar Baby, and here's how that goes. One day, Brer Fox and Brer Bear was sitting round in the woods talking about the way Brer Rabbit was always cutting up capers and acting so fresh. "Brer Rabbit getting too sassy," say Brer Fox. "Brer Rabbit getting too bossy," say Brer Bear. "Brer Rabbit don't mind his own business," say Brer Fox. "Brer Rabbit talk too biggity," say Brer Bear. "I don't like the way Brer Rabbit go prancing lippity-clippity down the road," say Brer Bear. "Someday I'm going to catch Brer Rabbit and pull out his mustaches prip-prop," say Brer Fox. "Someday I'm going to catch Brer Rabbit and knock his head clean off, blim-blam," say Brer Bear. Right then, Brer Fox get a powerful big idea. "I'm going to catch Brer Rabbit now," he say. Well, sir, Brer Fox went straight to work. First he got some tar, then he make it into a shape sort of like a baby with arm and legs and stomach and head. "Now," he say, "we got to make this tar baby look real." With that, he pulled some hairs, plip-plip, right out of Brer Bear's back, stick 'em on the tar baby's head. He snatch off Brer Bear's yeller hat and his own blue coat, and he put 'em on the tar baby. "Come now, Brer Bear," he say, "help me carry this tar baby to the big road where Brer Rabbit's sure to come hopping along." They took the tar baby and they sot him down under the tree at the side of the road, sort of like he might be resting. Then Brer Fox and Brer Bear lay down in the bushes to wait for Brer Rabbit. They didn't have to wait long. Pretty soon they heard a whistling and a humming, and along come Brer Rabbit prancing, lippity-clippity, sassy as a mockingbird. All to once he spied the tar baby. "Howdy!" sing out Brer Rabbit. The tar baby, he say nothing. Brer Fox and Brer Bear, they lay low in the bushes and they say nothing. Brer Rabbit wait for the tar baby to answer, then he say, louder than before, "What's the matter with you? I say howdy do. Is you deaf? If you is, I can holler louder." The tar baby, he say nothing. Brer Fox and Brer Bear, they lay low. Then Brer Rabbit holler at the tar baby loud as he can. "Where's your politeness? Ain't you going to say howdy like respectable folks say when they meet up in the road?" The tar baby, he say nothing, and Brer Fox and Brer Bear, they lay low. Now Brer Rabbit's sort of mad. He clench his fists and he walk right up close to the tar baby. "If you don't say howdy by the time I count 3, I'm going to blip you in the nose." Brer Rabbit start counting. 1, 2. But the tar baby, he say nothing. And Brer Fox and Brer Bear, they just wink their eyes and grin. 3, yelled Brer Rabbit. Now he mighty mad. He draw back his fist and blip. He hit the tar baby smack in the nose. But Brer Rabbit's fist stuck in the tar. He can't pull it loose. Now Brer Rabbit terrible mad. "Let go my fist," he holler. With that, he draw back his other fist and blip. Again he hit the tar baby smack in the nose. But this fist stuck there in the tar too, and he can't pull it loose. The tar baby, he say nothing. And Brer Fox and Brer Bear, they sort of chuckle in their stomachs. "If you don't let my fist go," holler Brer Rabbit, "I'm going to kick your teeth right out of your mouth." Well, sir, Brer Rabbit kicked. First he pulled back one behind foot, and pow, he hit the tar baby in the jaw. But Brer Rabbit's behind foot stuck in the tar. Then How! He hit the tar baby with the other behind foot. This foot stuck in the tar, too. If you don't let go of my behind foot, squalled Brer Rabbit, I'm gonna butt you with my head till you ain't got no breath left in your body. Brer Rabbit butted, but his head stuck in the tar. Now Brer Rabbit's two fists and his two behind foots and his head was all stuck in the tar baby. He pushed and he pulled, but the more he tried to get unstuck, the stucker up he got. Soon Brer Rabbit is so stuck up he can't scarcely move his eyeballs. Now Brer Fox and Brer Bear come out of the bushes, and they feel mighty good. They dance around and around Brer Rabbit, laughing and a-hollering, ho-ho-ho, fit to kill. We sure catched you this time, Brer Rabbit, said Brer Fox. You better say your prayers, Brer Rabbit, says Brer Bear, 'cause this is the very last day of your life. Brer Rabbit, he shiver and tremble 'cause he was in a mighty bad fix, and he was mighty scared. But right then he set his mind to a-working, and how to get hisself out of that fix real quick. Brer Rabbit, say Brer Bear, you been bouncing around this neighborhood, bossing everybody for a long time. Now I'm the boss, and I'm going to knock your head clean off. No, say Brer Fox, that's too easy and too quick. We gotta make him suffer. Brer Rabbit, he say, you been sassing me, sticking your head into my business for years and years. Now I got you. I'm going to fix up a great big fire. Then when it's good and hot, I'm going to drop you and roast you right there in this very day. Now Brer Rabbit ain't really scared anymore, 'cause he got an idea how he's going to get loose. But he talk like he's the most scared rabbit in all the world. I don't care what you do with me, he say, pretending to shake and quake all over. Just so you don't fling me over these bushes into that briar patch. Roast me just as hot as you please, but don't fling me into that briar patch. Hold on a minute, say Brer Bear, tapping Brer Fox in the shoulder. It's going to be a lot of trouble to roast Brer Rabbit. First we'll have to fetch a big pile of kindling wood. Brer Fox scratched his head. That's so. Well then, Brer Rabbit, I'm going to hang you. Hang me just as high as you please, say Brer Rabbit, but please don't fling me in that briar patch. It's going to be a lot of trouble to hang Brer Rabbit, say Brer Bear. First we'll have to fetch a big long rope. That's so, say Brer Fox. Well then, Brer Rabbit, I'm going to drown you. Drown me just as deep as you please, say Brer Rabbit, but please don't fling me in that briar patch. It's going to be a lot of trouble to drown Brer Rabbit, say Brer Bear. First we'll have to carry him way down the river. That's so, say Brer Fox. Well, Brer Rabbit, I expect the best way is to skin you. Come on, Brer Bear, let's get started. Skin me, say Brer Rabbit, pull out my ears, snatch off my legs, and chop off my tail. But please, 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 Brer Fox and Brer Bear, don't fling me in that briar patch. Now Brer Bear sort of grumble. Wait a minute, Brer Fox. It ain't going to be much fun to skin Brer Rabbit, 'cause he ain't scared of being skinned. But he sure is scared of that briar patch, says Brer Fox. And that's where he's going to go. This is the end of Brer Rabbit. With that, he yanked Brer Rabbit off the tar baby, and he fling him kerblam right in the middle of the briar patch. Well, sir, there was a considerable flutter in the place where Brer Rabbit stuck those briar bushes. Oh, ooh, ouch, he yelled. He screeched and he squalled and he ruckus and he hullabaloo, and it was awful. Then by and by, the ooh and the ow and the ouch come only in a weak, tired whisper, like Brer Rabbit really going to die. Brer Fox and Brer Bear, they listen and grin. Then they shake hands and they slap each other on the back. Brer Rabbit ain't going to be sassy no more. Brer Rabbit ain't going to be sassy no more. Brer Rabbit ain't going to do nothing no more. This is the end of Brer Rabbit. He's dead. But right then, Brer Fox and Brer Bear hear a scuffling amongst the leaves, way at the other side of the briar patch. And lo and behold, who do they see scrambling out of the bushes, frisky as a cricket, but Brer Rabbit hisself. Brer Rabbit, whistling and singing and combing the last bit of the tar out of his mustaches with a piece of the briar bush. "Howdy, Brer Fox and Brer Bear," he holler. "I told you, and I told you not to fling me in that briar patch. That's the place in all this world I love the very best. That briar patch is the place where I was born." With that, he pranced away, lickety-clippity, laughing and laughing, ha ha ha, till he can't laugh no more. And this one is called Brer Terrapin's Tug-of-War. One night, the critters that live in the Brer Rabbit's neighborhood decided to forget their quarrels and meet together for a taffy pull down by the pond. 'Twas a moonshiny night when all the stars was twinkling and everybody was feeling fine. Everybody wanted to help. Brer Bear, he fetched the wood. Brer Fox, he built the fire. Brer Wolf, he come along with the stew pot to cook the taffy. Miss Possum, she bring a big spoon to stir it. And Miss Mink, she bring a little spoon to taste it when 'twas done. As for Brer Rabbit, he greased the bottom of the plates to keep the taffy from sticking. Then Brer Terrapin, he climb up on a rock, and he say he'd watch and see that the pot don't boil over. Well, whilst they was all sitting round and the taffy was a-boiling and a-bubbling, they got to telling tales. Soon they got to bragging. Brer Fox, he started up. "Folks," he bragged, "I want to say right here and now that of all the creatures in this world, I am the sharpest."
"Ha!" say Brer Wolf. "Maybe you is the sharpest, but I'm the wickedest."
"I'm the prettiest," says Miss Mink, swishing her little brown tail. "And I'm the spryest," said Miss Possum, swinging herself upside down from a tree branch. "Pooh!" say Brer Bear. "Who cares about all that?" He snort and puff out his big furry chest. "I'm the strongest." Brer Rabbit, he listened to all the bragging, and he excepting for my little friend Brer Terrapin, and he don't talk biggity at all. This set Brer Rabbit to thinking, and pretty soon his head was full of devilment. By and by, when nobody was looking, he sort of mosey up to Brer Terrapin. They whispered together for a while. Then they both grinned, and Brer Rabbit, he mosey off again. Brer Terrapin wait for a bit, then he stuck his head way out of his shell, and he say,
"Who was that who say he is the strongest?"
"That was me," say Brer Bear, strutting and puffing his chest out. "Does anybody say I ain't the strongest?"
"Yes," say Brer Terrapin, "I do. You ain't the strongest. I is."
This make all the critters chuckle and giggle, 'cause of course Brer Terrapin ain't much bigger than the palm of Brer Bear's paw. Brer Bear, he roll on the ground and he laugh and laugh. Ooh. After a while he pick himself up and he say, sort of snickering, "Come on, Brer Terrapin, you say you is the strongest. How you going to prove it?"
"What will you give me if I prove it?"
asked Brer Terrapin. Now Brer Rabbit wink his eye at Brer Terrapin, and he speak up. "Look here, folks, if this little Terrapin can prove he is stronger than Big Brer Bear, we ought to give him a handsome present. We ought to give him all the taffy that's boiling in this here pot." "That's right," holler all the critters together. Naturally, they don't know they know that Brer Bear, he is the strongest. "Very well," said Brer Bear. "It's agreed. Brer Terrapin gets all the taffy in the pot if he can prove he is the strongest. Now, Brer Terrapin, how are you going to prove it?"
get me a long rope, say Brer Terrapin. I'll take one end and crawl down into the pond. You take the other end and see if you strong enough to pull me out.
I ain't got no rope, say Brer Bear.
You ain't got no rope, and you ain't got no strength either.
Brer Terrapin pulled back into his shell like he got nothing more to say. Brer Bear and the others, they just laughed, but Brer Rabbit, he up and say, "This argument got to be settled right now. We got to know who is the strongest." With that, he skip away, and before you can say whoop-de-doo, back he come dragging a big long rope. One end of it he give to Brer Bear, the other end he give to Brer Terrapin.
"Now, ladies and gentlemen," he say, "you all just stay here with Brer Bear. I'll step down to the edge of the pond with Brer Terrapin. Soon as I see him crawl down under the water, and it's time for Brer Bear to pull, I'll wave and holler, 'Whoop!'"
Well, sir, they all laugh again, but they do as they was told, and Brer Rabbit, he grinned to hisself when he see Brer Terrapin take his end of the rope and dive down into the pond. Down he go, kerblink, kerblunk, way down to the very bottom. Brer Rabbit wait a minute. Then he holler into the water,
"Is you ready, Brer Terrapin?"
Brer Terrapin, he send up a bubble that say, "Yes." Now Brer Rabbit wave to Brer Bear and the other critters, and he holler, "Whoop!" The tug-of-war begin. Brer Bear, he wrapped the rope around one paw and give it a little jerk. But Brer Terrapin, he don't budge. The critters standing there with Brer Bear, they open up their eyes 'cause they're sort of puzzled. Then Brer Bear, he take the rope in both paws and give it a bigger jerk. But Brer Terrapin, he don't budge. The critters, they frown 'cause now they're really puzzled. Brer Bear try again. This time he put the rope across his shoulders, he leaned forward and grunt, and he pulled with all his might. Brer Terrapin, he don't budge. He send up another bubble. "He wants to know when you're going to start pullin'," holler Brer Rabbit. He laughed to hisself. Then he wrinkle up his nose to sniff the sweetness of the taffy a bubblin' in the pot. Now the critter's getting kind of worried. Brer Fox, he step up and grab hold of the rope to help Brer Bear. They both pull. They pull, and they ain't got breath to pull no more. But Brer Terrapin, he just send up a bubble. "He says he's getting tired of waiting," holler Brer Rabbit. "What's the matter, Brer Bear? Ain't you got no strength?" Now the critter's terrible worried, 'cause they remembered they promised they made about the taffy. And they all grab hold of the rope to help Brer Bear, and they all pull together. They pulled and they pull and they pull till they so tired they can't stand on their foots. And they just let go. Of course, all this while, Brer Terrapin had his end of the rope tied on the old tree stump a-growing on the bottom of the pond. All he had to do was just sit there in the mud, twiddling his thumbs. Soon as he see that the rope ain't pulling on the stump no more, he know that Brer Bear give up. Then he untie the rope, and up he swim to the top of the water. And by the time the other creatures come down to the edge of the water, Brer Terrapin was just strolling round, stretching his neck and gazing at the stars. "That last pull of yours was pretty stiff, Brer Bear," he say. "You're strong, you're mighty strong, but you just ain't strong enough." Brer Terrapin, he grinned. "Now, if you'll excuse me, please, I'll take the taffy and go on along home. Come on, Brer Rabbit, give me a hand with carrying that great big pot." With that, Brer Rabbit and Brer Terrapin pick up the pot of taffy and took it home to the chillun's, and not one of the other critters got so much as a teensy little taste even. Well,
Now this one is called Brer Bear and the Bag Full of Turkeys. One day Brer Rabbit was lounging round under the pomegranate tree, puzzling what he was going to do next. He just can't make up his mind. On the one hand, he was feeling sort of hungry, but on the other hand, he was feeling sort of lazy, and he ain't in the mood to scurry round and fetch hisself something to eat. By and by, he seen Brer Bear come along with a big empty bag slung over his shoulder. "Howdy, Brer Bear! Where you going with that bag?" "I'm going hunting. So long." With that, Brer Bear go trudging off on his way. Brer Rabbit grinned. Now he know that he ain't going to be hungry too long, and on the other hand, he know that he don't have to scurry round and fetch hisself something to eat. Well, sir, the rest of the day, till the time that the sun dropped down, Brer Rabbit just puff on his pipe, and he roll around, and then he get up and he climb up in a tree to watch for Brer Bear to come back from his hunting. He ain't been watching very long when, sure enough, he seed Brer Bear come tromping through the woods with his hunting bag filled up with wild turkeys. Brer Rabbit jumped down from the tree. He scampered through the bushes, and he come out at a place in the road where Brer Bear was bound to pass by. Then he set to work. First he pull a twig off one of the bushes. He take out his knife, and he cut the twig into the shape of an arrow. And next he take off his clothes and he hide 'em in the tall grass. Of course, without his own shirt and without his own pants and without his own pipe, Brer Rabbit don't look like Brer Rabbit at all. He look like any other ordinary rabbit in the world. Now Brer Rabbit lay down on the ground, and he put the arrow against his side, looking like it was stuck right through his heart. Then he stretched out straight and stiff, exactly like he was dead. Pretty soon along come Brer Bear. When he see the rabbit laying in the ground with an arrow sticking through him, he stop and take a look. He say to himself, "Somebody must have shot this rabbit. Such a fine, fat rabbit. He sure looks mighty tasty." Brer Bear sort of look his chops. Then he looked down at his hunting bag, filled up so full with wild turkeys. "Too bad I ain't got room to put this rabbit in there. Oh well, I ain't." He sigh and tromp on down the road. Soon as Brer Bear was out of sight, up jumped Brer Rabbit. Off he scampers through the woods and come out at another place on the road where Brer Bear was bound to pass by. Again he lay down on the ground. Again he put the arrow against his side and stretched out like he was dead. By and by along come Brer Bear. Do. My, he say, another rabbit, and just as fat as the first one. He look at Brer Rabbit a minute, and his mouth begin to water. Then he sling his bag of turkeys down from his shoulder and drop it on the ground. "These fat rabbits is going to waste. I can't allow that. I'll just have to leave my turkeys here a minute while I go back and fetch that other rabbit. Then I'll string the two rabbits together, and I'll just drag 'em the rest of the way home." With that, Brer Bear marched back down the road toward the place where he seed the first rabbit. Scarcely was Brer Bear out of sight when Brer Rabbit jump up, he grabbed the bag full of turkeys, and off he pranced, a clippity-clippity, grinning and chuckling and laughing big old laughs. Ha 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 ha! And Brer Bear went home without his turkeys and without his two fat rabbits, and he never did find out who stole 'em. Now this one is Dr. Rabbit Cures the King. There come a time when King Lion got a briar stuck in his paw, and he got sorter sick. Day after day he sot there on his throne, a-groaning, scarce able to hold a crown on his head. The critters that he was a kingin' over, they had to scratch around to fetch him his food, and this was no easy matter, for King Lion had an appetite bigger than a hippopotamus, and And it got so that after a while every family had to share their dinner with the king to keep him from starving to death. The lion doctor, he tried to cure the king's paw, but he can't. Then somebody whispered in King Lion's ear that there was a heap of smartness amongst the critters that he kinged over, and maybe he ought to inquire around about some smart new doctor. First thing you know, the king was sending inquirements out, and pretty soon they tell him about Brer Rabbit. Of course, they say Brer Rabbit ain't a regular doctor with a satchel of powders and pills, but he do have some herbs and ointments and that he got from the witch rabbit down in the swamp. And the next thing you know, the king send for Brer Rabbit, and he come a running to see what he can do. Now, to look at the paw that the briar was stuck in, Brer Rabbit had to go mighty close to King Lion's mouth. He didn't like that kind of business. Every time he feel the hot breath of King Lion blowing on him, he'd flinch and squinch all up. Then when King Lion yawned, Brer Rabbit well nigh fainted dead away. Howsomever, he did the best he could. He fixed up the paw with a salve of turpentine and suet to draw out the information, and then he tell the king he going to get better, and then he say, so long. Now Brer Rabbit mosey off down the road a bit, just a whistling and a singing a silly sassy tune, and by and by he meet Brer Fox hurrying along with a pair of fat ducks for his share of the king's dinner. Brer Rabbit, he howdied. Howdy! Brer Fox, he helloed, and then he asked, by the way, Dr. Rabbit, how's the king? Better? Brer Rabbit rubbed his chin and looked sorter wise. Well, he is, and then again he isn't. It all depends on what he puts in his stomach. Then I'll be the one to cure him, Brer Fox frowned his chest. He looked round at the two fat ducks strung over his shoulder, and he give 'em a little pat. You know how the king loves ducks. Oh, gracious, oh, goodness, Brer Rabbit dropped his mouth wide open. Why, what a piece of luck that I met up with you this way. You mustn't take those ducks to King Lion. Oh, no. Why not? Asked Brer Fox. These is fine ducks. They'll make the king feel better in a jiffy. Brer Rabbit laughed way down in his insides. But he don't let on. No, Brer Fox, the king likes ducks, but he can't have 'em. They'll make him awful sick. I'm the doctor, and I know, but if you don't believe my say-so, just look here. Brer Rabbit feel around in his pocket, and he pull out a little piece of old newspaper. Brer Fox, he look at it kind of sideways. Is there any writing on it? If there is, 'tain't going to do no good to look at it, 'cause I can read reading, but I can't read writing. That's the way with me, too, said Brer Rabbit, 'ceppin' that I can read writing, but I can't read reading. Then he kind of wrinkled up his forehead and looked down at the paper like it say something. This is writing, Brer Fox, and I'll be glad to read it to you. Here's what it say. These is the foods that King Lion may eat. Hot meat, cold meat, fresh meat, stale meat, any kind of meat at all exceptin' duck meat, and that's sure to give him chills and fever. Chills and fever? Then I can't take him these ducks. Now Brer Fox looked sort of scared. But what am I going to do, Brer Rabbit? Now I ain't got nothing to take him for his dinner. Oh, he'll be terrible mad. What will I do? You're in a bad fix, Brer Fox, mighty bad. Brer Rabbit scratched his ear with his behind foot like he thinking real hard. Then he say, if I was you, I'd just take those ducks home to Mrs. Fox. Then I'd run off somewhere and hide. Somewhere way off, far, far away, so King Lion can't send no one to catch you. That's just what I'll do. Thank you, Brer Rabbit. With that, Brer Fox tear off down the road like he's been shot from a cannon. Soon as he got out of sight, Brer Rabbit sat down in his hunkers and had a big laugh. Oh, then when he know that the time was long enough for Brer Fox to get home with the ducks and be off again, he foller along to Brer Fox's house. He step up to the door and he rap on it soft. Blim. He stand there with his heels together, looking like truly, really goodness was just dripping from his mouth, and Mrs. Fox, she opened the door, and Brer Rabbit, he make a bow. "Good morning, Mrs. Fox. I hope you's feeling well." Then he sort of pull his mustaches and scrape his foot into step. "I was just a-passing by, and if you don't mind, I'll take along those 2 ducks Brer Fox done give me this morning." Mrs. Fox, she put her hand on her hips, and she looked monstrous cross. "Well, well, well, if that don't beat everything. That scallywag fox of mine, he up and give you those ducks, and he don't say nothing ter me about it? Why, that's too bad, Mrs. Fox, but see here, 'tis in writing that these ducks is mine." Brer Rabbit, he take out the same little piece of newspaper that he showed to Brer Fox, and he hold it up for Mrs. Fox to see. And Mrs. Fox, she turn it upper side, downside, and wrong side, outside, and then she say she can't read it without her far-seeing specs, and she hand it back to Brer Rabbit for to read aloud. Brer Rabbit, he cleared his throat and make out that he's reading. "Dearest wife, please be so kind as to let Brer Rabbit take the 2 ducks. Your lovin' Fox." "Well," say Mrs. Fox, gritting her teeth, "I guess they's yours." She fetched the 2 ducks and hand 'em to Brer Rabbit. "Thankee, Mrs. Fox," say Brer Rabbit, bowing and taking the ducks. With that, he light out from there, and away he galloped home, and that night the Rabbit family ate those ducks for dinner, all except the gizzards, and those Mrs. Rabbit cooked up special for Brer Rabbit to take to the king, and that very day after dinner King Lion got well, 'cause there ain't nothing on this earth so tasty to a sick lion as the gizzards of fine, fat ducks. This is a story of why the Cricket family lives in chimblies. Once upon a time, it might have been in the year 1, for all I know, there was a frisky young cricket that liked to play on his fife. Oh, during the summer he'd stay out in the woods, and one day he'd fife for the fishes, and the next he'd teach the young birds how to whistle a tune. And day in and day out he frolicked and had fun, but by and by the weather began to get cool, and then the playing fife was difficult business. All morning while the frost nipped round, this frisky young cricket had to keep his hands in his pockets to keep his joints from stiffening up. This was bad enough, but it kept on getting worse. It got so cold that Mr. Cricket can't play his fife at all. He had to tuck his fife under his arm while he just shivered and huddled up amongst the stones, and now he knowed that something just had to be done. So he crawled along through the woods till after a while he see the house with some smoke a-rising from the chimbley at the back. "Aha," he say to himself, "where there's smoke, there's bound to be a fire. There I can get warm." He creep up close, and he seed that the house was made of logs, and the chimbley just plain mud plastered on some sticks. Mr. Cricket smiled, 'cause this was the kind of chimbley that was easy to get into. He set to work. He gnawed, and he sawed, and he scratched, and he clawed, and pretty soon he got where he could feel some warmth. More than that, there was some cracks in the hearth of the fireplace inside the house, and some crumbs had fallen through. Mr. Cricket smelt 'em, and felt 'em, and ate 'em, and after that he was feeling fine. 'Twa'n't long before his joints go supple again, so he take out his fife and began to play. In the daytime he played real softly,
But when the night time come and everything was dark, he played as loud as he can. The childrens in the house, they listen and laugh, but the mammy and the daddy, they shake their heads and look sort of cross. Day after day and night after night, the fifing went on. After a while, the daddy began to get mad. "Stop that racket!" he hollered down through the crack in the hearth. But the fifing went on. The daddy stomped and shake his fist. "Hush up! You hush up or I'll make you sorry!" But the fifing just went on. Now the daddy too mad for to speak. He up and put the kettle on the fire and wait till the water boil. Then, while the fifing was the loudest, he took and poured the scalding water down through the cracks in the hearth. Next thing that daddy know he shouldn't have done it, 'cause the water melted the mud and plaster, and the hearth fell in. The hearth falling in pulled the chimbley down, and the chimbley falling down pulled the wall down, and the wall falling down pulled the roof down, and the daddy and the mammy and the chillens had to run out from the ruined house into the woods. Mr. Cricket, he kicked and pushed and shoved and scrooged till he got out from the place where the chimney was, but the weather outside was cold. He had to put his hands in his pockets, and he can't fife, so he went to the next house and crawled in the chimney there. But the daddy and the mummy and the chillens didn't have no place for to crawl into. They had to make their beds in the trees, so they called out to their friends to tell their friends, and for them to tell their friends' friends, not to pour boiling water on the crickets in their chimneys, else their houses would be ruined. And that's why the Cricket family been living in chimneys from that day down to this, and no one dasn't disturb 'em. This one's about Brer Fox and the stolen goobers. There was one season when Brer Fox took a notion to plant a goober patch. "Now, when these goobers is ripe," he said to himself, "it's going to be mine, all mine, and nobody else is going to get 'em." With that, he fetched some boards and he built a big high fence all the way around where the goobers was planted. By and by, the goobers began to ripen up, and Brer Fox go down to pick 'em. But lo and behold, he find that somebody else has picked 'em first. Brer Fox is mad. "Somebody's been a-grabbing amongst my vines," he say, muttering and shaking his fists. He walked round and round the goober patch looking for that somebody's tracks, but he can't find 'em. "That villain smart, whomever he is, mighty smart," he say. "I'll bet it's that rabbit. That's who it is. It's Brer Rabbit." Now Brer Fox began hunting everywhere for the place in the fence where Brer Rabbit come in. Brer Fox eyes mighty sharp, and pretty soon he see the hole where the wood had been sort of chewed off, and he grinned. This is the place Brer Rabbit comes in, right here. And this is the place where I'll catch him when he comes back." Well, sir, right there Brer Fox set a trap. First he fetched a rope, then he bent down a tree branch a-growing near the fence corner, and he tied it to one end of the rope, and the other end he make a loop knot, and that he fastened with a trigger right in the hole in the fence. Brer Fox chuckle. "This is the end of Brer Rabbit. Tomorrow morning I'll have him catched, and I'm going to skin him, and I'm going to nail up his hide on the front door." Now Brer Fox go home and he go to bed. And all that night he dreamed of rabbits, fat rabbits, dancing round in the moonlight, munching goobers and spitting out the shucks. Early the next morning, while Brer Fox was still asleep, sure enough, along come Brer Rabbit with a sack slung over his shoulder to fill up with goobers. He tiptoed to the fence and started to crawl through the hole. Pow! The loop knot catch him just behind the little front paws, and whoop! Up he flew into the tree branch, and there was Brer Rabbit high up there in the air, dangling twixt the heavens and the earth. And there he swung. First he feared he's going to fall. Then he feared he wasn't going to fall. He yanked and he pulled and he heaved and he hauled, and ain't no use. This time he know Brer Fox got him catched. Whilst he was swinging up there figuring out a way to get loose, he heard somebody tromping down the road. Presently, along come Brer Bear. Now Brer Rabbit began to feel better. "Howdy, Brer Bear," he sing out. Brer Bear turned round. "Huh?" Then he see Brer Rabbit hanging down from the tree under rope. "Yo, Brer Rabbit, what you doing up there?" "Who, me? Oh, I'm just working on a job." "Working on a job?" Brer Bear scratched his head. "What sort of work is there to do up there in the air?" "Scarecrow sort of work. I'm keeping the crows out of Brer Fox goober patch down below." Brer Rabbit smile and sway backwards and forwards, humming to himself. "Brer Fox paying me lots of money for this work, Brer Bear." "Lots of money? How much is he paying you?" Now Brer Rabbit take a big swing and he crack his heels together like he the happiest rabbit in the world. "$1 a minute, Brer Bear." "$1 a minute?" Brer Bear just stand there staring at Brer Rabbit with his mouth wide open and his tongue hanging out. "Did you ever make $1 a minute, Brer Bear?" "No, Brer Rabbit, never." "Well, wouldn't you like to make $1 a minute?" Brer Bear kept on looking at Brer Rabbit dangling up in the air on the end of the rope, and he sort of back away. No, thank you, Brer Rabbit. I don't know nothing about that scarecrow work." "Oh, it's easy work, Brer Bear. There's nothing to it. All you have to do is just do nothing, and all the time you're doing it, the dollars is just piling up, big round silver dollars." No, them's your silver dollars, Brer Rabbit." But I got so many, Brer Bear, my chimbley corner's just naturally all stuffed up with 'em. Is your chimbley corner stuffed up with big silver dollars, Brer Bear?" "Oh, no, 'tain't stuffed up at all." "Then how you going to buy your family the Christmas presents? Ain't you going to have no turkey? Ain't you going to have no mince pie?" "Well, I ain't thought about that yet, Brer Rabbit." "You ought to think about it, old Brer Bear. You got to make some money quick. I'll have to give you this here scarecrow job now, this very minute." "Why, that's mighty nice of you, Brer Rabbit. You sure is right. I ought to make some money quick." Now Brer Bear can't wait to get up in the air to take Brer Rabbit's place. Brer Rabbit show him how to bend down the tree branch, and it wa'n't long before Brer Bear was swinging up there in the end of the rope, and Brer Rabbit was sitting safe and sound on the fence. Well, sir, whilst all these shenanigans was going on, Brer Fox was getting up out of bed. He grabbed his walking cane and down he run to Bluckety-Buckety straight to the goober patch. He grinned 'cause he sure he got Brer Rabbit catched in the trap. Then all to once he stopped stock still. There was Brer Rabbit sitting on the fence, gay as can be. "Howdy, Brer Fox," he sing out. "Look like Brer Bear's been stealing your goobers. I see you got him catched here in your trap." "Brer Bear!" hollered Brer Fox. Now he come a-gallopin'. "Why, that triflin', good-for-nothing slink, here's where he gets the worst lickin' of his life." With that, he up with his walking cane and he rush on Brer Bear. But Brer Rabbit don't wait for to see the licking. He jump down from the fence, fill up his sack with ripe, delicious goobers, and then he skip off home. Now you're going to have to turn the tape over to the other side, and we'll see if we got some more stories over there, okay? To the window, easy-like, and peek out. Lo and behold, what does he see sticking out from behind the sycamore tree but the tip of that Brer Fox tail? "Oh, no," he say. "That fox is up to something, and he ain't up to no good." Brer Rabbit peeked some more, and he seed that Brer Fox was all slicked up and wearing his best party pants. Now Brer Rabbit started thinking,
That fox is jealous. That's what he is. He don't want me to go to their party. He's going to act like we're friends and like we ought to go to Miss Goose's house together, but he's got some plans to do away with me before we get there, sure as my name's Rabbit. Well, I got a plan, too. And right then Brer Rabbit put his plan to work. He lay down on the floor close to the door, and he began to moan. Oh, 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 I'm so sick. Oh, I'm so sick. Outside, Brer Fox listened. He frowned. He wasn't expecting to find Brer Rabbit sick, and this kind of put kinks in his plan. By and by, he stepped up to the door and knocked. Blimp! Brer Rabbit moaned some more. Oh, oh, who's that knocking at my door? It's your good friend, Brer Fox. I come to take you to Mrs. Goose's party. Thank you, Brer Fox, but I'm too sick to go. Come on, Brer Rabbit. You'll be all right. Maybe you'll feel better soon. Oh, no, Brer Fox. I'm very, very sick. Oh, oh. Now Brer Fox don't know what to do. He paced up and down outside the door, puzzling and working his mind. Brer Rabbit's being sick has spoilt everything. I just got to do away with him somehow, he said to himself. If only I can get as far as the bridge that crosses the river, then I can fling him in. Being as he's so sick, he's sure to drown quick. Brer Fox grinned. But first I gotta get him to come out. Brer Fox stepped up to the door and knocked again. Blam! You got to come to the party, Brer Rabbit, he said real polite. It just won't seem the same without you. But I can't come, Brer Fox. I can't scarcely even walk. That don't matter, Brer Rabbit. If you is too sick to walk, I'll carry you. I'll be glad to. I'll carry you in my arms. This make Brer Rabbit chuckle, 'cause now he know that his plan's going to work. Thank you, Brer Fox, he said. That mighty nice of you to say you'll carry me, but I'm scared you'll drop me. Oh, I'm so sick. I won't drop you, Brer Rabbit, but if you're scared, well, I'll let you ride on my back. Thank you, Brer Fox, but I'm scared I'll fall off. I can't ride without a saddle. I'm a very sick rabbit. Brer Fox don't like the idea of putting on a saddle, but he got to get Brer Rabbit out of that house, else he can't get him to the river to drown him. I'll be glad to put on a saddle, he say. Now Brer Rabbit groaned like he feeling worse. Oh, I'm terrible sick rabbit, Brer Fox, and I don't want you shying at something and throwing me off on the road. A saddle ain't enough. I've got to have a bridle, too. This make Brer Fox mighty mad, but he want to get Brer Rabbit out of that house mighty bad. He take a deep breath and he say, I'll be pleased to put on a bridle, Brer Rabbit, but you can ride me only as far as the bridge that crosses the river. That's the getting off place, and you got to walk the rest of the way to the party on your own feet. Now Brer Fox grinned wide, 'cause he know the bridge is the place where he going to fling Brer Rabbit kerzoom down into deep, deep water. That'll be just fine. I'll get off there, said Brer Rabbit. I sure is obliged to you, Brer Fox. Maybe I won't be feeling so sick by the time we get to the river. Well, Brer Fox, he scamper off to get himself harnessed up. Brer Rabbit, he scrambled up from the floor, and what does he do but go to the shelf, take down a pair of spurs, and slip them into his pocket. Then he pick up his banjo and a bouquet of blubby blossoms that he had fixed up for Miss Goose. Last of all, he wrapped himself in a big flannel blanket to make himself look powerful sick. By and by, he heard Brer Fox come galloping back. Brer Rabbit go out. There was Brer Fox, a-standing there a-waitin', saddled, bridled, and all rigged up like a circus pony.
Come on, Brer Rabbit, he hollered. Let's get going. Take off that blanket and climb up.
I got to wear this blanket, say Brer Rabbit, shivering a little. I can't afford to catch cold. With that, he slowly hoisted himself into the saddle. Now go easy with me, Brer Fox. I'm a very sick rabbit. Brer Fox trot off. Brer Rabbit, he just sot there in the saddle, jouncing and bouncing and moaning and groaning like he feel worser and worser all the time. Brer Fox smacked his lips. He can't scarcely wait to get to the bridge over the river where he going to fling Brer Rabbit and drown him. Well, sir, he trot, and after a while he get there. Brer Fox stopped still.
Here we is, Brer Rabbit. This is the getting off place. Climb down.
Brer Fox listened to the gurgling of the water down under the bridge, and he chuckled. Brer Rabbit, he twist and turn in the saddle like he's starting to get down, but of course he weren't doing nothing but pulling on his spurs out of his pocket and slipping them over his foots. Just a minute, Brer Fox. Just wait till I get loose from this here blanket.
Hurry, Brer Rabbit, hurry up.
Brer Fox just can't wait. He pawed the ground and he chomped at the bit. Just a minute, Brer Fox, just a minute. Now Brer Rabbit ready. He fling off the blanket and he throw out his chest and say, "Giddy up!" he yell. Then he lift up his heels and grip down plunged the spurs right into Brer Fox's ribs. "Ow, yo!" squawked Brer Fox. He rip and he roar and he jump and he hump, and every time he hump himself, Brer Rabbit just slapped the spurs in him harder. Brer Fox snorting, then up and he leap, and away he gallop a lickety-splickety. Brer Rabbit, he wave his hat. "Yippee, yippee!" he holler. He ride that fox just like a cowboy. He drive him right up to the gate of Miss Goose's house. The critters at the party come crowding to the door. "It's Brer Rabbit," they shout. "Look, why, bless gracious, he's riding Brer Fox." Brer Rabbit, he drive Brer Fox right up onto the piazza. Then he lean down and make a bow and hand Miss Goose the bouquet of blubby blossoms. "Howdy, folks," he say. "Now, please excuse me just a second while I tie up my riding hoss." With that, he jumped down from Brer Fox and tie him up fast to the post. Oh, Brer Fox, so tired, his tongue was out, his tail was drooping down, and he ain't got no breath left to speak. Then Brer Rabbit grab up his banjo, and he pranced right into the party, strumming and singing a song. "Some folks travel fancy, and some folks travel plain. Some folks goes on horseback, others take the train. Some folks has a carriage with a coachman in the box. But when I goes to a party, I travels on old Brer Fox."
You know, when we started this tape, we didn't even know who little Santia was or what she even looked like, but by golly, we sure do now, and she is just about as cute as a button. Well, welcome, little Santia. Grandma and Grandpa love you, and all your cousins and uncles, too. Now we're going to read about Brer Fox, Brer Rabbit, and the well. One day in the summertime, Brer Rabbit was a-working round in his front yard. He was cutting the grass and pulling up the weeds and kinder tidying things up for Sunday, when who should come meandering along but old Brer Fox. He wasn't going nowhere special. He sorter took a notion to jump up on the fence and see what Brer Rabbit was up to. Soon as he seed how hard Brer Rabbit was working out there in the hot sun, he made up his mind that this was just the time to have some fun and make poor old Brer Rabbit mad. "It's mighty comfortable up here, Brer Rabbit," he sing out, climbing out in the wide, shady tree limb. "Course, maybe you likes working there in the hot sun, but as for me, I likes to stretch out and rest myself in a cool place like this." "Well, I like to work," say Brer Rabbit. He mop his face with his handkerchief and began raking up the big mess of leaves. "Some folks in this neighborhood likes to lounge round and do nothing, but not Brer Rabbit. I'm a working man." Brer Fox yawned. "That's mighty lucky, Brer Rabbit, 'cause you sure got plenty of work to do, and you ain't going to have no time to stretch out and rest yourself in a cool place like this." Now Brer Rabbit was getting tired, and resting himself in a cool place like that was exactly what he had in mind. Howsomever, he don't want Brer Fox to go blabbing round that he's lazy, so he just keep on raking for a while. But after a bit, he kind of smiled to himself, and he say kind of loud, "Now I got to take these leaves round to the trash pile behind the house and burn 'em." With that, he scoop up a big armful of leaves, and he trot off. But he don't take 'em to the trash pile. He dump 'em just round the house corner. Then he look round for a cool place to rest himself, a place where Brer Fox can't see him. All to once he happened to glance at the old stone well. "Ah, that's just the place," he say. He looked down inside, and there at the bottom on the end of a rope was a bucket just sitting down there on top of the water. He looked up at the roof of the well, and there was another bucket dangling from the other end of the rope and swinging in the air. Brer Rabbit grinned. "This bucket up here is just the place to rest myself, and Brer Fox'll never find me, that's sure." With that, he jump in, but he ain't no sooner got inside than this bucket began to go down, and the other bucket began to go up. Down go Brer Rabbit, down, down, till his bucket hit the water, kerplash, and the empty bucket hit the roof, kerblimp. Brer Rabbit's bucket float there in the water. Brer Rabbit, he's scared most out of his skin. All he can see is the dark insides of the well, and all he can hear is the water a-swishing and a-swashing all around him, and there ain't no way to get out. Now, of course, all this while Brer Fox wasn't doing any napping. He always got one eye on Brer Rabbit, and when he seed him sneak off round the corner of the house, he sneak along right behind. He seed Brer Rabbit go to the well, he seed him jump into the bucket, and he seed the bucket with Brer Rabbit go on down out of sight. Brer Fox can't scarcely believe his eyes. He puzzle, and he puzzle, but he can't make head nor tails out of that kind of goings-on. He creep along on his tippity-toes close to the well, and he listen, but he don't hear nothing. Then he creep up still closer, he peep down, and he don't see nothing. Naturally, there wasn't nothing to see, 'cause Brer Rabbit was just sitting there in the dark, so scared he dasn't even move his eyeballs. By and by, Brer Fox leaned way over the edge of the well, and he hollered down, "Hey-o, Brer Rabbit! What the dickens you doing down there?" "Shh!" holler up Brer Rabbit. "That's a secret." "Well, is the water very wet down there, Brer Rabbit?" "Oh, not so wet as it might be on a rainy day, Brer Fox. But that don't make much difference anyway, 'cause I'm having such a lot of fun down here." "Fun?" Now Brer Fox leaned way, way over the edge and stared down into the darkness. "What sort of fun at the bottom of a deep, dark well?" Brer Rabbit chuckled. "Ain't you never heard tell about the fitsy, fotsy, figaloo fishes? Ain't you never heard tell that these fishes don't live nowhere else exceptin' just down here?" Now Brer Rabbit talking so nice and chummy that Brer Fox don't suspicion nothing. "Why, I ain't never heard nothing about 'em, Brer Rabbit. What sort of fishes is fitsy, fotsy, figaloo fishes?" "Why, they is the most expensive fishes in the world, Brer Fox.
I catch 'em here, and then I take 'em to town on Fridays, and I sells 'em to the rich folks for $50 a pound." $50 a pound? Brer Rabbit gasped. "Well, is there many of those fitsy-fotsy figaloo fishes down there?" "Lots of 'em, Brer Fox. Scoes and scoes of 'em. The water's just naturally alive with 'em." "Well, then, Brer Rabbit, don't you need someone to kind of help you haul 'em in?" Brer Rabbit don't answer for a minute, like he's sort of mulling this matter over in his mind. "Maybe I do need a helper. That's a good idea, Brer Fox." Now Brer Fox so anxious to get some of those fishes for himself, his heart was pounding like a hammer. "But how am I going to get down there to help you, Brer Rabbit?" "Why, that's easy, Brer Fox. Just jump into that empty bucket up there. It'll fetch you down here in a jiffy." With that, Brer Fox leaped into the empty bucket and whoom, it shoots straight down to the bottom of the well. But of course, as Brer Fox go down, his weight shoot Brer Rabbit up. They pass each other in the middle of the well. Then Brer Fox hit the bottom, and Brer Rabbit was back up on the top. Brer Rabbit hop out, then he lean over the edge, and he holler down into the dark. "Haul down as many of those fitsy-fotsy figaloo fish as you can, Brer Fox. Then just stretch out and rest yourself in that nice, cool place down there." With that, Brer Rabbit pranced right back to work again, 'cause now that he got rid of that busybody fox, he don't feel tired no more. And this is how old Cranny Crow kept his head. There was one time, I don't know the day and I don't know the year, but 'twas one time when there come a big storm. The wind blowed and the rain rained, like all the sky and the clouds, too, done turned into water. The wind blowed so hard that it lifted a Cranny Crow up from his roost way down yonder in the marshland where he lived, and it fotched him to the swampland up here. And when he come a whirling. The wind pick him up and turn him round and round. When it put him down again, he was so dizzy he wobbled like he just learning how to stand up. By and by, when the wind stopped blowing, he began to feel better, and he looked around to find out where he was at. He looked, and he looked, but he can't find out, 'cause old Cranny Crow was a mighty far ways from home. Yet he was standing in the water up to his knees, like he was used to, and that kind of gave him a cozy home feeling. But the swampland here was different from the marshland where he come from. This place got thick and tangled grass, and it got vines and big trees with moss hanging down from 'em like long green whiskers. Old Cranny Crow, he feel mighty queer, but he start to walking round, and when he walk, he look like he's on stilts, his legs was so long. The critters, they holler at him, "Hey, where'd you come from? What you doing here?" Brer Mink and Sis Possum, they peek round the tree and they laugh. Brer Mud Turkle, he bubble up a bubble that say he's laughing. Bloop, bloop, bloop. And he was laughing at Cranny Crow, too. After a while, when the night began to drop down, they let him alone, and they began peer-rooting around to see what there was to see. Peeping first in one bush and then in another, he took notice that all the birds here in the swampland had gone to bed without their heads. Look far as he can, Cranny Crow can't find one single bird that hadn't took off his head. Look close as he can't find one that had his head on. Cranny Crow asked himself, "How come this?" Then he answered himself, "Going to bed with their heads on is gone outer fashion in this part of the country." Cranny Crow don't know what to do. He got pride, and he don't want to be out of fashion. He's shamed to go to bed like he always been doing and let the other critters laugh, yet he don't know how in the name of goodness he going to get his head off. Of course, he don't know that the others had just tucked their heads down under their wings. So he look round to see if there ain't someone he can ask about it. Just then he see two sharp eyes shining at him from somewhere amongst the vines. Pardon me, sir, says Cranny Crow, but I'm a stranger in these parts, and would you mind telling me the reason why all the birds in this swamp takes their heads off when they go to bed? The sharp eyes, they squinch up a sly sorter smile, and out stepped that old rapscallion Brer Fox. He'd been a-watching this strange bird, and a-thinking how he'd make a mighty pleasant mouthful. Why, stranger, he says, slinking up sort of staunch ways, the reason they take their heads off is this. Their skeeters here is pretty bad, so the birds just naturally get in the habit of taking their heads off at night and putting them in a safe place. But how does they do it? It sure stumps me. Oh, they don't do it themselves, say Brer Fox, stepping up real close and licking his chops. They got me hired to do it for 'em. And is you hired, sir, to come back in the morning and put their heads back on? 'Cause if you is, sir, I'd like you to take my head off and put it in a safe place, too. I'd be glad to do that for you, stranger. I'd be glad to. With that, Brer Fox reach out and grab hold of Cranny Crow's neck, and he start to squoze it. Just then, pow! Brer Fox get a whack in the back from someone behind. He fall head over tail. He splunge into the water with a loud kerblashity-blash. And who should he see standing there smiling innocent as a lamb but that smart little Brer Rabbit. The sleeping birds, they hear the racket, and they wake out. They wake up, and out pops their heads from under the wings. Cranny Crow, he see all their heads, and now he understand. He flop his wings, and away he flew back home. And neither Cranny Crow, nor his chillins, nor even his grandchillins ain't ever come back to this swamp land from that day down to this. They learned their lesson. This is about Brer Rabbit's money machine. One morning, Brer Rabbit had been off to town a-selling watermelons, and his pockets was just crammed full with the money. On the road going home, it just so happened that he met up with Brer Bear. "Howdy, Brer Bear," he sing out. He feels so gay that he pranced right up and shake hands. "How's Mrs. Bear? How's your two chillins, Cubs and Clibs?" "Dey's pretty well, Brer Rabbit. How's Mrs. Rabbit and your 47 little rabbit chillins?" "Fine, fine, all fine." Now Brer Rabbit feel just in the mood for cutting up, and he noticed that Brer Bear looked sorter dopey and not really awake from his head all the way down to his tail. Well, Brer Rabbit began dancing around, and of course the money in his pocket began to jingle. Brer Bear cocked his head. "Huh! If I ain't mighty much mistaken, Brer Rabbit, I heard the jingling of money." Brer Rabbit sorter grinned and hold his head careless, and he said, "'Tain't nothing much, just a bit of small change." With that, he reached in his pocket and drawed out a whole paw full of silver quarters, all shiny and spanking brand new. Brer Bear's big mouth dropped open wide. "Lord's a massive, Brer Rabbit, where in the name of goodness did you get all that money?" Brer Rabbit put the money back in his pocket, and he answered kind of slow, "Oh, I gets it where they make it. I always gets it there." "Where they make it?" Brer Bear so astonished his tongue gets all tangled up in his mouth. Whereabouts did they make the money?" Brer Rabbit rolled his eyes around, and then he whispered, like he don't want no one else to hear, "Why, sometimes they makes it in one place, and other times they makes it in another. You got to do like me, Brer Bear, and keep your eyes watching sharp." Yes, I'll keep my eyes watching sharp, but please tell me, Brer Rabbit, how can I find that money place, too?" He begged and he begged, but Brer Rabbit just kind of studied him like he got some doubts on his mind. Then he sat down on a rock, and Brer Rabbit just fool around in the sand with his foot, and then by and by he say, "S'posen I do tell you the place, how do I know you ain't going to blab it round the whole neighborhood? Then everybody'll go grabbing for the money, and we don't get none at all." Brer Bear, he vow and swear and cross his heart that he won't tell one living, breathing soul. He's so excited he begin to tremble and shake. And now Brer Rabbit sidled up real close to Brer Bear, like he telling him the most secretest secret in the whole world. "'Tain't such a hard place to find once you know how. All you got to do is to watch the road till you see a wagon coming along. Then, if you look real close, you'll see that the wagon, if it's the right kind of wagon, has got 2 front wheels and 2 behind wheels. Furthermore, you'll see that the front wheels is lots smaller than the behind wheels. And now, when you see that, what does your common sense tell you is going to happen?" "Well, Brer Bear scratched his head. That's too much for me, Brer Rabbit." Brer Rabbit pulled down the corners of his mouth, sort of disgusted like he never met up with such a numbskull as Brer Bear. "Your common sense ought to tell you that pretty soon the big wheels in the behind is going to catch up with the little front wheels." "Sure enough," said Brer Bear, that must be so." "Now," said Brer Rabbit, "if you know that the big wheels going to catch up with the little wheels, and that every time they grind up against one another, shiny, brand new money is going to drop down from betwixt them, well, what your common sense tell you to do then?" "Oh, what, Brer Bear hang his head like his common sense don't tell him to do nothing at all. Now Brer Rabbit act like he losing patience with the common sense Brer Bear ain't got. "This is what you do," he said, sort of cross. "If you don't want no brand new money, you can just sit down and let the wagon go on by. But if you do want the money, you can follow along and keep watch. Then, when the behind wheels get to grinding against the front wheels and the money starts to drop down, you'll be right there to catch it." Brer Rabbit jump up. "Listen, Brer Bear, I hear a wagon coming now." Sure enough, just then a wagon come rumbling down the road. Brer Rabbit, he slapped Brer Bear on the back. "What luck! It's the right kind of wagon, with the big wheels in the back and the little ones in the front. Here's your chance, Brer Bear." Now Brer Bear was staring at the wagon with his eyes shining like stars, and he was shaking all over, and he scrambled up, and away he raced, a puffing and a panting, right along beside the wagon. "Watch those wheels, Brer Bear, watch 'em close," holler out Brer Rabbit, "and I'll drop by and tell Mrs. Bear to go buy herself a fine, handsome present, 'cause you're going to be oh so rich." But as soon as Brer Bear was out of sight, Brer Rabbit laid down in the grass and kick up his heels and ha 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 ha, he laughed. And this is Brer Rabbit and the Huckleberry Jam. There was one time way back when times were hard, the critters had to grub round for victuals to eat, and sometimes they most had to scratch gravel to get enough. They ain't had time for fooling each other and playing tricks, and they had to hire themselves out wheresoever there was some work to do. The first week or two, Brer Rabbit worked pretty hard. He picked cotton, he split up some kindling wood, he raked up leaves. He was much too tired to cut capers at all. Then come the day when he and Brer Fox was both hired together to patch up a leak in the roof of a barn. When Brer Rabbit heard that Brer Fox and he got to work on the same job, he feel kind of dubious. "I don't like joining up with that snaggle-tooth bushy-tailed trash," he said to Mrs. Rabbit. "Never you mind," said Mrs. Rabbit. "Just keep both your eyes open and both ears hoist up. Now run along." With that, she packed him up a little lunch to take with him to eat when the job was done. Brer Rabbit grumbled a bit, but he take the lunch and he start off. On the way he meet Brer Fox, and he was carrying a box of lunch too. "Howdy," say Brer Rabbit, acting sort of sociable. "The sun's shining mighty hot today. I expect we better leave these lunches down by the spring where they'll keep cool." "Sure enough," say Brer Fox. "That's just what we'll do." Now, whilst they was putting their lunches down by the spring, Brer Rabbit just happened to notice that Brer Fox's lunch was fixed up mighty tasty with a big jar of huckleberry jam for dessert. But he don't say nothing, and he and Brer Fox go along to the barn where they're going to fix the roof. Well, sir, they climbed up and they went to work. Brer Rabbit, he stuck a pencil behind his ear. He went round measuring and marking where the new roof shingles was to go. Brer Fox, he pick up the hammer, some nails, and new shingles, and start fastening them on. They work and they work, but 'twa'n't long before Brer Rabbit feel sort of hunger in his innards, and his stomach began to growl. 'Tain't been but a little while since he had breakfast, but he feel like he could eat a hoss. He can't keep his mind off Brer Fox's jar of huckleberry jam lying down there by the spring. "I just got to have some," he said to himself. "Just a teensy little taste." First thing you know, while Brer Fox was kicking up a racket with the hammer, Brer Rabbit jumped down from the roof and hopped off. He scooped down to the spring and grabbed himself a big lick of that jam straight out of the jar. Then he go skelly-ootin' back and climb up on the roof again. "Where you been?" asked Brer Fox. "This hot sun make me dizzy in the head," said Brer Rabbit, mopping his face with his handkerchief. "I just had to go rest myself for a minute in the shade." "Huh!" snort Brer Fox like he suspicioned something. Brer Rabbit worked on a while, but the teensy little taste of that huckleberry jam was just enough to make his mouth begin to water for some more. He wait till he seed Brer Fox go crawling round the roof corner, then down he go again to the spring. Now that jam tastes even more delicious than before. He stay a while and he gobble up half of the jar. Brer Fox was waiting for him when he got back this time, and his eyes looked mighty sharp. "Where you been? You been gone a long time." "Oh, one of these flying bugs up here done hit me way down inside my ear. I had to run home and get the soothing salve." Brer Rabbit scratched his ear with his behind foot like it hurt him. "These bugs is red waspies, and their sting sure is terrible bad." Brer Fox frowned like he don't exactly believe this story. But anyhow, they both go back to work, and Brer Rabbit can't think of nothing but how he's going to get those last licks of huckleberry jam just going to waste down there in that jar. Presently he cock up his ears like he hears some noise way far off. "Laws a massy," he yelled. "It's Mrs. Rabbit calling. Something terrible must be the matter at home. I've got to run and find out what it is." With that, he jumped down from the roof, and away he scooped straight back to the spring again. Now he guzzle up all Brer Fox's huckleberry jam right down to the bottom of the jar, and he lick it dry. Then he hurry up back to work. Brer Fox was waiting for him, pacing up and down the roof, switching his tail. "Well, what was the matter at home?" Brer Rabbit pant like he'd been running far. "Oh, the neighbor's chillins come by, and they flung a rock at one of my chillins and hit the top of the head where the cowlick is, and I had to run for the doctor." Brer Fox, he slammed down his hammer. Kablam! "I'm sick and tired of working here in the sun while you keep running on. I done had to finish up this whole job alone, and I'm going to see to it that you don't get 1 cent to pay. But first, I'm going down to the spring to eat my lunch. I'm hungry." "Me too," say Brer Rabbit, kind of winking his eye. "I'm monstrous hungry." With that, they both jumped down from the roof and start for the spring. But Brer Rabbit, being the fastest, gets there first. He paw up the earth and scuff up a few pebbles like somebody already been there snoozling around. Then he sing out, "Quick, quick, Brer Fox! Looks like somebody's been here. Oh, gracious, oh, goodness! Somebody has been here. Somebody eat up all your huckleberry jam." Brer Rabbit's opened his eyes wide open, and he's standing there staring at those empty jars. And Brer Fox come trotting up, and he see the empty jar, and he growl. Then his eyes just happened to glance up at Brer Rabbit. There, stuck on the tip end of his mustache, was a little round drop of huckleberry jam. Brer Fox let out a squall that might have been heard for 40 miles away. "Why, you worthless weaselly wump!" With that, he make a snatch for Brer Rabbit, but he just lack a little bit of being quick enough. Brer Rabbit, he grab up his lunch, he takes a big leap, and off he race like his tail was on fire. Brer Fox, he raced right after him. They race till pretty soon Brer Rabbit lead that fox to the briar patch. He zigzag in and out amongst the briars, but Brer Fox ain't made for this scratchy sort of business, and he gets snaggled up in the pricklers, and he can't get nowheres. He just get madder and madder and madder till he well nigh plumb crazy. Then Brer Rabbit zip away. Soon as he was out of smelling distance, he skipped back to the barn and get his pay. Now, with the huckleberry jam in his stomach, with his lunch under his arm, with a heap of money jingling in his pocket, and with Brer Fox thrashing round up yonder in the briar patch, Brer Rabbit was as happy as he could be. He is one bad rabbit. And this is the Will-o'-the-Wisp. "I'm tired of eating cabbages," said Brer Rabbit one morning. "I'm tired of carrots, asparagus, and beans. I'd like to sink my teeth into something sweet." With that, he took a notion to run over to Brer Bear's house to see what they had to eat over there. Whilst he was clippity-clipping along on his way, lo and behold, who should he meet up with but Brer Bear hisself. Mrs. Brer was strolling along beside him, and shuffling along right behind was the two childrens, Cubs and Clibs. "Howdy," say Brer Rabbit, making a bow, real polite. "Howdy," say Brer Bear and Mrs. Brer, bowing just as polite. Then Cubs and Clibs, they say howdy, and they bow too. Brer Rabbit, he sot down on his hunkers till they passed by. He think, "That Brer family is round and fat as a dish of butterballs. They must have something sweet and tasty in their pantry cupboard. I'm going to have a lick of it right now." Now Brer Rabbit, he sort of take a shortcut through the bushes, and he get to Brer Bear's house while there ain't nobody there, and he walk in the front door, and he began a sniffing and a snuffing around, and he peeping here, and he poking there, and he nibble a little of that, and he gobble a little of this, and then all at once he spy a bucket of honey way up high on the shelf. Hmm. Brer Rabbit smack his lips. He start to scrambling up, and he make a grab for the honey bucket when, pow, it come tumbling down and slush all over him. Just a little more and he'd have been drowned. From the top of to the tip of his tail, he was just dripping with gooey, gluey honey. Brer Rabbit lick up a big mouthful, and then he ask himself, what'll I do now? If I stay in here, Brer Bear'll come back and catch me, and if I'm ashamed to go outside anywheres and let the other critters see me all stuck up like this. For master's sake, what will I do? Well, by and by, Brer Rabbit opened the door and sneak out. But now, of course, the honey make his foot sort of slippery, and the first thing you know, right there in Brer Bear's front yard, he fall down, and he roll over in the leaves, and the leaves, they stick, and he kick and scuff his way, and this way and that to knock 'em off, but the more he scuffed, the more they stick, and 'twasn't long before he was kivered all over with wild leaves. Then he stand up to try to shake 'em off, but they still stick. And with every shake he make, the leaves, they go swishy swishy, splishy splushy. This time, Brer Rabbit was the scariest looking critter and the scariest sounding critter you ever laid eyes on. While he was a-stand there figuring out what to do, who should happen to come stumbling by but old Sis Crow. No sooner did she catch sight of Brer Rabbit in those leaves than she set up a howl, and off she galloped, a mooing and a booing like she'd seen a ghost. And Brer Rabbit laughed. Now who should come flopping down out of the air but Brer Turkey Buzzard, and he take just one look at Brer Rabbit, then he flip his wings, and he yank himself right up into the air again, screeching and squalling, till he was way up out of sight somewhere in the clouds. This made Brer Rabbit laugh some more. He began to be mighty pleased about being such a scary-looking critter, and he feel like cutting up. Just then he see Brer Fox come strutting along with his fancy walking cane. Brer Rabbit chuckled. He jumped out into the middle of the road, and he give himself a big shake, swishy swishy, splishy splushy. Then he kind of sing-song low and mysterious. I'm the Will-o'-the-Wisp, and you're the one I'm after. I think I'll skin you just for fun. You better run, 'cause I'm the Will-o'-the-Wisp, and you're the one I'm after. Well, sir, run was just what that fox done do. He drop his fancy walking cane, and he race off into the woods. Oh, Lord, Lord, he yells, leaping straight up through the bushes. Now Brer Rabbit feels so sassy, he want to scare everybody in the neighborhood. I'll just go wait here, and I'll scare the Bear family when they get back from their walk, he chuckled to himself. I'll scare 'em all, the whole caboodle. With that, he sat down there to wait in the shade of the tree by Brer Bear's front porch, and pretty soon he got to feeling sort of drowsy, and the next thing you know, he dozed off. Whilst he was dozing there in the shade, the sun moved round a bit, till by and by Brer Rabbit wasn't dozing in the shade no more. He was dozing right in the sizzling sun. The sun, it dry up the honey that was covering Brer Rabbit, and the leaves that was sticking there in the honey, they dropped off. Now Brer Rabbit don't look like a scary critter no more. He looked just like hisself. But of course, being asleep, Brer Rabbit don't know this. The first thing he know, he heard the tromping of big heavy foots. There was the Bear family coming right up to the porch. Brer Rabbit jump up quick, and he leap out from under the tree and start to moan. I'm the Will-o'-the-Wisp, and you're the one I'm after. I think I'll skin you just for fun. You better run, 'cause I'm the Will-o'-the-Wisp, and you're the one I'm after. The Bear family, they stare at Brer Rabbit with their mouths wide open. Then Brer Bear, he bust out laughing. Will-o'-the-Wisp, what in the name of goodness is the matter with you, Brer Rabbit? And what's that dried up stuff all over you? You're the frowsiest critter I ever did see. Then he see the sticky footprints on his porch. Why, you've been messing around with my honey, you scoundrel. Brer Bear, he reached out to make a grab for Brer Rabbit, but Brer Rabbit run away and go scooting off to the edge of the river. He squat down and look at himself in the water, and, well, he say, I might not be the scariest critter in the earth, but I'm